It's natural to be thinking, what am I going to get from this course? Or what's in it for me? This is a common question in all human relations, although it's seldom directly asked and answered. Here's the short, bottom line answer. The better you can work with people, the more successful you will be in your personal and professional life. Life is about relationship. It's all people, people, people. This may be one of the few courses you'll take which you can actually use what you learned during the course of your personal life as well. You don't need to wait till you graduate to apply what you've learned and develop your human relations skills. Now, let's expand on what's in it for you by exploring some of the myths and reality surrounding what we call human relations. But first, let's define human relations. The term human relations simply means interactions among people. Now, let's discuss the top 3 myths about human resources before exploring the world of human relations in more detail. Myth number 1. Technical skills are more important than human relations. Some people believe that human relations or organizational behavior course is less important than more technical courses like computer science. However, the reality is that in a survey of job recruiters, of the 26 attributes identified, organizations are looking for human relations skills. It's commonly said that people are an organization's greatest asset, or key to their success. Not technology, because people working together develop that technology. Number 2, human relations is just common sense. Some people believe that human relations is simple and common sense. Do all these people and organizations get along and work well together? If human relations is just common sense, then why are people issues some of the most prominent concerns of business owners and HR managers alike? It's because high-quality relationships are important to success. Think about the jobs you've had. Did everyone get along and work well together? How did human relations affect your personal job satisfaction? Myth number 3, leaders are born, not made. Some people believe they can't develop leadership skills. Effective leaders have good human relations skills. The question, are leaders born or made, has been researched multiple times over the years. Leadership experts generally agree that leadership skills can be developed. Virtually all large major corporations spend millions of dollars a year on leadership training. Why would those organizations spend all that money if human relations skills couldn't be developed? Regardless of your natural ability to get along and work well with people, using this information, you can develop human relations skills. The goal of human relations is to create a win-win situation by satisfying employee needs while achieving organizational objectives. A win-win situation occurs when the organization and employees get what they want. If an employee wonders, what's in it for me, the employee is expressing his or her own needs. When a manager expects high levels of performance from employees, that manager is identifying organizational objectives. When employees and organization goals align, performance tends to follow. The total person approach realizes that an organization employs the whole person, not just his or her job skills. So it's important to understand the whole person. People play many roles throughout their lives, indeed throughout the day. Think about this. If your child is ill, how would you react to being asked to work overtime? The study of human relations looks closely at the way people behave, why people behave the way they do, or what makes them and the people around them tick. Behavior is what people do and say. Human relations fuels behavior. The 3 levels of behavior are individual, group, and organizational. Human relations takes place at group and organization levels. Individual behavior is what people say and do. Here, basic psychology and communication principles apply. Individual behavior influences group behavior. An organization is a group of people working to achieve one or more objectives. As individuals and groups interact, their collective behavior constitutes the organization's behavior. Thus, organizational behavior is the collective behavior of an organization's individuals or groups. Human relations affects individual and group behavior, and has resulting effects on organizational performance. Performance is the extent to which expectations or objectives have been met. Performance is a relative term. Performance levels are more meaningful when compared to past performance or the performance of others within and or outside the organization. Since relationships are the lifeblood of organizations, poor relations impede individual, group, and organizational performance. Popularly called organizational behavior and rooted in the behavioral sciences, the science of human relations was developed in the late 1940s. It's based primarily on psychology, which attempts to determine why individuals behave they do, and sociology, which attempts to determine how group dynamics affect organizational performance. Social psychology, economics, and political science have also contributed to organizational behavior. Frederick Taylor, an engineer known as the father of scientific management, focused on analyzing and redesigning jobs more efficiently in the late 1800s and early 1900s, which led to the idea of mass production. Scientific managers focused on production, not people. They assumed that workers always acted rationally and were motivated simply by money. From the mid-1920s to the early 1930s, ELTON MAYO and his associates from Harvard University conducted research at the Western Electric hardware plant near Chicago. The research conducted through the HAWTHORNE studies has become a landmark in the human relations field. In fact, ELTON MAYO is known as the father of human relations. As a consequence of these studies, the Hawthorne effect was discovered. The Hawthorne effect refers to an increase in performance caused by special attention given to employees, rather than tangible changes in work. During the research, Mayo changed the lighting and ventilation in work areas. To his surprise, performance went up regardless of working conditions. Through interviews, Mayo realized that the control group during the research felt important because of all the attention they got. Therefore, performance increased because of the special attention given to those employees. With the knowledge of the results of the Hawthorne studies, some managers used human relations as a means of manipulating employees, while others took the attitude that a happy worker is a productive worker. Studies have shown that happy workers are usually, but not always, more productive than unhappy workers. During the 1940s and 1950s, other major research projects were conducted in a number of organizations. Notably, Peter Drucker's Management by Objectives was popular in the 1950s. During the 1960s, Douglas McGregor published Theory X and Theory Y. In the 1980s, the U.S. rate of productivity was much lower than that of Japan. William OUCHI discovered that a few particularly successful firms did not follow the typical U.S. model. After years of research and investigation, OUCHI developed Theory Z. Theory Z integrates common business practices in the United States and Japan into one middle ground framework appropriate for the use in the United States. Total quality management was popular during this time in the 1980s.